In one of the most unexpected turn of events, Elon Musk and Trump have now fully turned on each other after being best friends just months ago, and it sent the Bitcoin and altcoin market tumbling. What can we expect from the crypto markets now? This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when we drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, Altcoin Buzz AO, and as always, not financial advice, and wish the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Alright guys, happy Friday. We have fully played out this move pretty much as expected. It came right down here, took out all the wicks down below here, and it broke back above and is now coming back towards $104,000. I will say though, I don't think this is the end of it. I don't think that was the bottom. I do think we can still go lower because if you go to the lower time frames, this does not look organic. This buyback which we've had here, it looks like someone like Michael Saylor or some big institution has just turned on their TWAP and they just started buying Bitcoin, because it's been only up in just like this weird steady flow ever since the sell-off yesterday. So this does not look organic to me. It looks like at the very least this will, retrace, but I think we will also go lower. It's also an underside retest here, so it's not looking the greatest right now until we break back above, really above $106,000. If we break back above here, it'll be a lot more convincing. It'll be, we'll change the market structure, because on the daily time frame, we've actually broken market structure here on the daily, which is not, ideal. So we've come down here, we've broken, and we closed down below these lows over here. So now we've fully broken this market structure. I wouldn't be too surprised if we sold off today, especially with everything going on with Trump and Elon Musk, which we're going to get to in a second. I wouldn't be too surprised if traditional markets started selling off today, because that news really came out after the market closed yesterday. So I wouldn't be too surprised if it started selling off even more today. People started de-risking, and that also bled it more into crypto into the weekend until some kind of resolution comes from that. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we really do have an underside retest here. We come back down here towards maybe the 99.5, somewhere like this, and then we continue higher. But I could be wrong. If we do break back above here and we go above 107,000 and then we kind of retrace or we retest this level, that would kind of invalidate my thesis. So if that happens, then we're off to the races and we're good again. But I don't think that is the highest probability right now with how this market looks, and this just looks completely fake to me. This buying pressure here on the hourly chart. So that's for Bitcoin right now. I think you haven't missed the bottom yet. I think we're gonna form a bottom maybe over the weekend and into early next week. And so I don't think you've missed the bottom yet. If you are, if you're sad that you missed this, little leg up here, I don't think that is the bottom just yet. Then moving on, we have Uber is considering utilizing stablecoins to lower costs, according to the CEO.
I understand that you are considering stablecoin as a vehicle for Uber. Talk about where your considerations are and how that might benefit your business.
Yeah, we're still in the study phase, I'd say, but I think stablecoin is one of the, for me, more interesting instantiations of crypto that has a practical benefit other than crypto as a store of value. Obviously, you can have your opinions on Bitcoin, but it's a proven commodity. And people have different opinions on where it's going. But I do think that stablecoin is quite promising, especially for global companies.
MSRI Crypto also says 116 public corporations hold 809,000 Bitcoin, totaling $85 billion. And then moving on to the major news of the day and what really caused this sell-off yesterday, and I can't believe that this actually started to happen. We have President Trump says the easiest way to save money is to terminate Elon's government subsidies and contracts. So he says, so there's this whole debate over this, this bill going out right now that Elon is opposed to and Trump wants to get through, but it will supposedly, create a bunch more deficit and more debt for the U.S. economy, which, Elon is against. And now there's a fighting between the two. So Elon says, in light of President's statements about canceling my government contracts, SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately, which is the spacecraft that went up and saved a lot of the astronauts that were on the space station for the last 8 months. And so the Dragon spacecraft is very detrimental to the International Space Station. And so Elon's like, okay, we'll just stop helping you guys out. And then Elon also responded to Trump saying, I'm very disappointed with Elon. I've helped him out a lot. He knew the inner workings of the bill better than anyone sitting here. He had no problem with it. And all of a sudden he had a problem with it. And he only developed the problem when he found out we were going to cut the EV mandate. And Elon responds by saying, false, this bill was never shown to me, even once, and it was passed in the dead of night so fast that almost no one in Congress could even read it. Elon then proceeds to tweet a bunch of stuff on X, like the Trump tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of this year. He also says, Trump's on the Epstein client list, which is part of the reason why the list hasn't come out yet. All kinds of things. And then Mario Naval says people need to realize that what Elon is fighting for is necessary if the US economy is going to remain the global leader. I've spent the last few days preparing for my interview with President Milei. My biggest takeaway, most politicians prioritize pleasing voters in the short term over protecting the long-term health of the economy, which is exactly why countries keep racking up debt they can't afford. It doesn't matter if you're on the left or right, pro or anti-Trump, your top priority should always be the United States. And this country has a debt crisis that needs urgent attention. I admire Elon for having the guts to speak his mind and call out the elephant in the room. Someone has to do it. And then we also have Joe who says an account with 184 followers has achieved de-escalation between two of the most powerful people in the world. Now, I don't think it was actually this account. I think it was probably the people blowing up their phones. But this is kind of funny. So this Alaska guy says, this is a shame, this back and forth. You're both better than this. Cool off and take a step back for a couple days. To which Elon Musk responds, good advice. Okay, we won't decommission the dragon. So, I mean, I doubt it was this guy that necessarily did that, but I'm sure it's all the people that were blowing up all their phones back and forth. And I'm just surprised it got to this point where they're going back and forth on X talking about this. I feel like this could have been like a phone call or something. And then moving on, we have Lark Davis saying a massive ETH breakout is on the horizon. Ethereum's on-chain metrics and market performance are all pointing to a potential bull run in the near term. Here's what I'm seeing. 1, ETH is outperforming Bitcoin in Q2 so far. 2, protocol enhancements. The recent Pectra upgrade has improved scalability and lowered ETH's inflation rate. 3, spiking institutional interest. Exchange balances are at 7-year lows, and ETH ETFs are seeing significant inflows. This all suggests longer-term accumulation by big players, so the points above look pretty bullish. But just a word of caution, polymarket bettors aren't convinced yet. Currently, they're giving a 27% chance that ETH makes a new all-time high in 2025. So polymarket doesn't even fully believe that new all-time high will come in 2025. There are a bunch of things that are a bit concerning about the whole macro and potentially tariffs causing recession in the second half of the year. Things like that could cause you to be a little bit hesitant if a new all-time high is going to happen. We also have big money flowing into ETH, though. In the last 24 hours, Ethereum has seen just about over $500 million in stablecoin inflows into the exchange on Ethereum. Not into the exchange, into the chain of Ethereum. Abraxas Capital just bought another $36.4 million worth of ETH, so whales are loading up. And we also have ETF flows. Around 2,660 Bitcoin were sold, and 4,340 ETH were bought on June 5th. So Bitcoin ETFs saw $278.4 million in net outflows, while ETH ETFs saw just $11.3 million in net inflows. So Bitcoin is seeing a bit of outflows yesterday, and ETH saw minor inflows on the same day. Now, ETH, I will say, it's holding up stronger than, Bitcoin, really. It's been more resilient recently, so I have to give ETH that at least. It's holding up above these lows here around $2,300. So we've fully come back and we're holding above. But if Bitcoin continues down, I don't expect ETH to continue to hold up as well. We might look like something like this where we come back up towards 25 and then we sell off today potentially with more terrible headlines coming out. If we don't get any terrible headlines and everything is resolved and everyone's friends again, maybe this was the bottom and then we continue higher. But to really be convinced, I'd want to see us break back above this level here around 26 and hold that as a level reclaim. And then we'll continue higher from there. But more realistically, I'd like to see this above here around 28-ish. That's a better level for Ethereum for me if we want to continue higher. So we'll have to see what happens with the news and the headlines today. But that's Ethereum right now. I don't expect it to outperform necessarily if the whole macro is not great. And then we also have Sui saying build tamper-proof oracles on Sui network. Nautilus is now live on the mainnet, a new way to run off-chain logic inside secure enclaves with on-chain verification.
Nautilus is a way to have private and transparent computation of anything and being verifiable on the blockchain. There are typically two reasons that you need to run some logic on a secure enclave. One is privacy. You don't want the data to be visible to everybody. Imagine if you are an AI agent, maybe you don't even want to reveal your model. The other is some execution might be expensive for the blockchain. This model will get your data based on some request. It will output something, and the output is verifiable. So you will see AI agents now being able to run on these secure enclaves, or you can see very expensive games to run there. You can see also very private functions to be able to run there, and all of them are verifiable. You can also have KYC verification without seeing the actual data of your identity. Sui already has zero knowledge proofs. What we were missing There was some verification for enclave execution, and now we have it through Nautilus.
And Sui says Nautilus is live on Sui mainnet, and we're launching a powerful cohort of partners, bringing verifiable off-chain compute to DeFi, AI, oracles, legal contracts, and omni-chain yield. We have Bluefin integrating Nautilus to power a T-based order matching engine, and thereby operating Bluefin entirely on a trustless architecture. We have Volo's vaults are integrating Nautilus to bring verifiable off-chain logic to omni-chain yield farming. TensorBlock is integrating Nautilus to power verifiable AI computing tasks in its AI agent infrastructure. Open Gradient is integrating Nautilus to bring on-chain trust to AI inference. Regular Tech is a smart legal contracting layer for the agentic economy and is building with Nautilus to provide confidential contract execution to teams building sophisticated AI systems that require audible governance. And Marlin Protocol is building a cloud-based T marketplace for Nautilus, making it easy to launch secure enclaves without managing infrastructure. This is just the beginning. Nautilus is the trust layer for the off-chain logic, and these partners are proving how Web3 apps can be fast, private, and verifiable all at once. Sui also says you can now swap into Sui directly from Trust Wallet on both mobile and extension, same chain or cross chain. Now Sui has pretty much come down to this level. We wicked down to around $2.85 today, pretty close to the level we were targeting. Pretty much everything has come down to that level that we were targeting. Whether this is the bottom or not, again, is to be seen by the whole broader market. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we do come down here towards $2.70 at some point, maybe today or over the weekend. And then we reaccumulate around here and then continue higher. Likewise, if I am wrong, what we want to see is us come back above here around $3.30. We want to reclaim this level, and then we can continue higher for a change in market structure, have a little bit of a market structure shift back to the bullish side. But right now, this could still be an underside retest, come back down here towards $2.70, and then consolidate somewhere around there for a bit. And then we have CryptoRS saying Insight Hyperliquid's hype dominates DeFi perp market with 80% share surge. Volume hit 165 billion in May and trails Binance's 1.7 trillion. And then Tobias says Hyperliquid summer is here. The number of Hyper EVM users has tripled, the daily blocks have doubled, and the daily transactions have also doubled. We also have Deadpool here saying Hyperliquid is what DeFi promised to be. In my opinion, Hyperliquid is a foundational shift in the DeFi derivatives market. I've been closely watching Hyperliquid over the past few months, and what's happening now can't be ignored. The platform has captured 80% of the decentralized perps market. That's a massive number. For context, DYDX, Avo, and other platforms combined don't even come close. As someone deep in DeFi, I can say this is rare. Most early projects rely on tokenomics to buy attention. Hyperliquid went the other way, and that deserves respect. So why is it growing fast? There are a few key reasons. First, performance. Hyperliquid offers execution speed on par with centralized exchanges. Second, ultra-low fees, essential for any serious perp trader. Third, the UX is clean and intuitive, rivaling Binance or Bybit, but the whole thing runs on-chain. No KYC, no asset custody, just you and the smart contract. To me, this is exactly what the next generation of DeFi products should look like. What does this mean for DeFi as a whole? Hyperliquid proves that decentralized platforms can now go head-to-head with centralized exchanges and win. Traders no longer have to choose between security and performance. You can have both. And this is just the beginning. My personal take, Hyperliquid isn't just a hype wave, it's infrastructure. If they keep this up, we're looking at the potential DeFi derivatives giant in the making. If you're serious about DeFi, Hyperliquid should be on your radar, and I'm already watching it closely. We also have Cointelegraph saying Hyperliquid topped all major chains in gross profit in May 2025, surpassing Tron, Ethereum, Base, and Solana. So $7.23 million in gross profit in May by Hyperliquid. And at the same time, Galaxy founder and CEO Mike Novogratz praised Hyperliquid as a decentralized NASDAQ, this is on CNBC, with transparent profits appealing to traditional equity investors. So he went on CNBC and said, hey, Hyperliquid is the decentralized NASDAQ, which is pretty amazing. Now, I will say for hype, not looking the best here. Everything isn't looking the greatest right now. But this could be a lower high in the making, which would not be ideal. So we could be making a lower high here and then continue. If we break down below around $31, if we break down below here, it'll confirm and we'll have this market structure shift as we'll make lower highs and then create lower lows here. And then we're probably heading back down towards at least $27. I think that's probably the most likely case. If Bitcoin does want to continue down lower today and over the weekend, I think that's most likely the case. We'll head down here towards around $27-ish. But likewise, if I'm wrong, we want to see this close above $39. And this will confirm that we'll actually be continuing higher and we'll have a higher high above this high around $39 right here. So if we do break down here, we'll break market structure on the daily chart at least, and then we'll be not looking so great. We'll probably head down here. So we're gonna have to wait a little bit to buy or long hype because I don't think this is a good area, especially since we're kind of in the middle of this range right here. So I would wait a little bit on hype right now. And then lastly for today, we have QuantHive Ai launches alpha wallet Dex Aggregator. So QuantHive Ai, a multi-chain Dex aggregator, has officially launched with a unique focus. It gives traders real-time AI signals based on top-performing wallets called alpha traders. As the markets grow more complex, traders are looking for tools that go beyond just hype. QuantHive Ai steps in to offer just that. Rather than chasing token trends or social buzz, the platform zeroes in on proven wallet behavior across major blockchains, including Ethereum, Solana, Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism, Sui, Base, and the BNB chain. And at the heart of QuantHive Ai is its alpha trader flow signals, powered by proprietary AI models developed by Zark Labs. These models track on-chain transactions from alpha traders' wallets with a history of realized profits, not just lucky bets. Using clustering algorithms, the platform identifies patterns in buying and selling behavior, turning raw blockchain data into actionable insights. And QuantHive Ai isn't just stopping at wallet data. The team is building features like social sentiment analysis, which will analyze posts on platforms like X to gauge community mood, and token risk ratings will soon offer automated safety checks on contract code and liquidity, while on-chain security insights will alert users to suspicious wallet activity and centralized risks. So that's QuantHive Ai, and that is the video for today, guys. Overall, I think we're coming up into a level of resistance here. This does not look natural to me, this buying right here on the hourly chart. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we continue to sell off. This looks like either Michael Saylor or some big institution TWAPing. It looks like it will get sold off into, because this is kind of crazy. This is what a TWAP looks like on Bitcoin. So I would be hesitant right now to be entering any major positions. I'd kind of wait and see what happens. Wait for the dust to settle. I don't think you need to catch any falling knives, and I don't think you need to rush into any positions right now. Wait for today, wait to see how the weekend develops, and then come Monday, we should have a better idea of what to expect. And I think we might see lower prices over the next day or so. So that's the video for today, guys. Make sure to stay safe out there, and I'll see you on Monday.